Welcome to this August 1st edition of Costa Rica Story. And it's been a long time since I've done a video. I've been really busy. I made a trip to the States. And I just got back before I went to the States, I was in Golfito for about a week. And I've been busy. I'm in the process of buying a car. So I'm going to do a little recap of what's been happening and what's going to happen in this episode of Costa Rica Story, August 1st. So yeah, I just got back from a trip to the States where I've got to renew my tourist visa because I'm on that 3-month deal where you have to renew your visa by leaving the country every time. And I needed to go to the States to take care of some business and pick up some items that I needed to bring back. And I also shipped a pallet of stuff. And I didn't do it in a very efficient way, but I used Get It There, Jerry. And I'm going to expand on that in future episodes, so that'll be a complete episode in its own. And I rented a car a couple times. I actually rented a car coming back from the airport, and rented a car going to the airport, and it was flawless. And I'll tell you, everybody complains about renting a car and how tough it is in Costa Rica to rent a car, and it really isn't if you use the right person, and I did. So I'll let you know who that is. And what else is going on? Just I plan on doing more Spanish inclusive material because I've got so many Spanish-speaking friends here that I ask them to check out my YouTube channel, and they're like, "Yeah, it's nice and everything, but they don't really speak English, so they can't tell what's going on." So maybe I'll try to incorporate some Spanish speakers more often, and maybe I'm going to incorporate some subtitling with Spanish subtitles, something to check out. And I know there's a lot of people that live here in Costa Rica that probably would like to know what's going on with some of the things that we talk about. So that is something I want to do. But my life it's kind of been a whirlwind of things going on. I've got I don't know where to begin, so I'm going to kind of skip a lot of that stuff. Yeah, so going back to the States, that was kind of an eye-opening experience, and it really made me appreciate what I have here quite a bit. I love my family and everything, but I just felt like I didn't belong there, if you know what I mean. It's kind of a weird thing to happen, but I've bonded so much with this country and of Costa Rica and the people here that I felt like I was, really far away from home in the country I was born in. I felt like a little bit like a stranger. And when I came back home, it was like a sigh of relief. And all my familiar things are here. And the heat and humidity that makes me sweat, that's here, and I love it. and the good food I like to eat is here. But it was tough because I had a lot of stuff stored in a relative's barn, and I was under the assumption I was going to be able to take that back little bit by little bit, but apparently I was incorrect in that assumption. So they asked me to get everything out of there, so I had to throw away a lot of really important things. I had some VHS tapes of family memories and stuff, and they ended up just getting tossed. And I had a lot of sweet little mementos and things that I wanted to keep, but I didn't know how I was going to keep it. So I guess it was kind of a little bit of tough love, being able to let go of that stuff, and it kind of cemented my separation between me and the United States, and it increased my involvement. It increased my belief in Costa Rica, that I belong here. It just really made it solidified the fact that Costa Rica is my future. The States is my past, and like one of my sisters said, you got to let it go. So that's what I'm doing. I'm letting a lot of this stuff go, and there's memories I would really like to have kept, but what's a memory? A memory is just a memory. I have the memories in my head. And one of the big things I did, I shipped a pallet of things here from the States. And I didn't do it as efficiently as I should have, but I did get my computer workstation packed on there and my monitors and my stand-up Vera desk, and a lot of miscellaneous connecting cables and things like that. And I also had some big long light stands that wouldn't fit in my suitcase that I needed for photography and things. So I did that, but I guess that takes about a month, and it was really, really expensive. If I had known I was going to have to get all my stuff out of my relative's barn, I would have been more efficient in packing that pallet. But, you know, I don't have an awful lot of space to put stuff here anyway, so it is what it is, kind of a deal. I'll be happy to get my workstation, because I really can't edit on a small 13-inch MacBook, because it just is too painful, literally. I'm like this, you know, that's when you're a video editor, you need 2 monitors and a nice keyboard. When I got to the States, I set my computer up, and with, you know, I had the 2 big monitors and my keyboard, and, you know, big custom-made computer I made, and just using that computer was so wonderful after working on the little MacBook Pro for so long. So I decided I was going to ship that home to Costa Rica at any expense, and it was a big expense. It's probably going to cost me close to $2,000 just to ship that pallet, and, you know, the taxes and things. But, you know, I need it here. I need it to work. So that's kind of I had to bite the bullet and go ahead and do that. And I don't regret it. It's something I had to do. So I'll have my computer here, and hopefully it makes it intact. It's kind of iffy. I didn't take it apart as much as I should have. And in transit, things can happen. But if I get it here intact, I'm going to do a lot more editing, because right now I dread the thought of having to go onto that little tiny computer and do video editing. And now, like in a month or so, when it finally gets here, I'll be able to have my full setup and do some real video editing and enjoy it. You know, it's a shame to have so much video that I've shot and I haven't got it edited. I've missed so many Monkey Mondays uploading videos, and I've got lots of monkey footage. There's monkeys all over here. But Monkey Monday will return soon enough, but I just really, I can't spend time editing on that small MacBook. One of the things I was really nervous about coming back from the States was going through customs on the tourist visa again the second time. You know, I don't really know if that's ever been a problem, but it just is like, you don't know if they're going to let you come as a tourist for another 3 months. You know, they're like, oh, another 3 months of tourism? Like, you know, is that something that's allowed? So I was like really stressed out about that, but customs was a breeze. They didn't even ask me the same amount of questions they asked me the first time. The guy was just really cool, and, you know, I had information. I had exactly where I lived, and I had a receipt from paying my rent. So I showed him that, and I think that made the process go by faster, and he was familiar with where I'm living, so that helped. But yeah, customs is kind of a pain. There's always a big long line there, and, you know, the people in scary positions looking at you. So I had some really long layovers on my flight going to and coming from the States. And in those layovers, I kind of realized something that I didn't realize before, and maybe it's because I'm used to the heat so much now, but airports are freezing. I mean, they're cold, cold, cold. They got the AC cranked right up. Like even San Jose Airport, I had to spend a long time in San Jose Airport, and I was so cold. I had to go outside to warm up quite a few times, and I don't know what the reason is for that, but it's the same in, you know, other airports like Charlotte was that way, Dallas was that way. So if you're traveling to Costa Rica, or anywhere for that matter, make sure you've got a jacket, because all I had shorts and a tank top on, and I had to take a towel out of one of my suitcases, and I had that for a blanket. So from now on, I travel with a hooded sweatshirt all the time, and I rented a car from Mario, and I'll give you more information about that in some next episodes. But the rent-a-car situation was so seamless and easy, and it was really cheap using this guy. So I don't know why so many people get so worked up about renting a car in Costa Rica. I guess if you go with the wrong person, that's gonna, you know, cause problems. And I don't get any kickback from this or anything. So this is just, you'll get the same kind of kickback that I do. You get a cheaper rate with this guy because he rents all year round. So that's part of the reason why he gets such a good deal. And he's very responsive. So we'll talk more about him later in future episodes. I'm currently in the process of looking at a car to buy the car. And I'm very lucky in that the fact that the person selling the car is willing to come here to Uvita to let my mechanic here inspect the car. And they're like 2 hours away, so that's really, really cool, you know. So that's happening Tuesday, so I could be in a vehicle by the end of the week, hopefully. We'll see. And that's really going to broaden my horizons. I'm going to be able to do a lot more video and do some more work, and visit some friends around the country here and have some fun. I've been meaning to give a thanks to everybody that comments on the videos, because that's one of my favorite things, is seeing what people have to say. And most of the comments are great. I just love it. Every once in a while, I had this negative guy that every time I posted, he was like, it's like he came directly from one of the Facebook pages, you know, how negative the people are there. And he was posted negative thing after negative thing for no reason. So I deleted his stuff, and hopefully he won't post again. And also, a lot of times when I have a pretty female on here, I get kind of crude comments. I delete those. So if you're that kind of person that wants to put crude comments, just don't do it. We don't go for that kind of thing. We're respectful around here, so keep that in mind. But keep the comments coming, because it's really important. I love to read it, and I'm sure everybody else does too. All right, that's all I got for this episode of Costa Rica Story. It was a short one, but I still haven't got all my bags unpacked. I've been home like maybe 4 days, and I still don't have my bags unpacked. I don't even know if I'm coming or going.